India operates 7 nuclear stations with 24 active nuclear power plants. But why are the United States of America and Germany suddenly racing to deepen partnerships with India's nuclear energy and green hydrogen sectors? Is it after India became the first country in the world to use nuclear energy power to generate hydrogen fuel? That was at Kalpakkam nuclear power plant in Tamil Nadu. In fact, India is targeting a staggering 100 gigawatts of nuclear power by 2047, led by the Kudankulam nuclear power project in Tamil Nadu, which alone generates 6,000 megawatts of power. In partnership with Russia, 2 additional units are expected to begin function in 2027 and 2 more in 2028. Now the United States also wants in. Nearly 650 kilometers away from Kudankulam lies Kalpakkam nuclear power plant, which hosts India's first indigenous 500 megawatt fast breeder reactor, which achieved criticality on the 6th of April this year, making India only the second country in the world to achieve this milestone, ahead of the United States or France and even China. With the world's largest thorium reserves, India is set for one of the biggest nuclear revolutions in history. So now Washington is moving fast to engage with India's new SHANTI nuclear framework, while Germany is looking towards India as a potential source to import green hydrogen for its own clean energy ambitions. Let's get into it. American Ambassador to India Sergio Gore recently held discussions with India's Department of Atomic Energy Secretary. The US Embassy in India wrote on X. Ambassador Sergio Gore spoke with DAE India Secretary Ajit Mohanty ahead of his forthcoming travel to the United States. Our nations are working closely together to advance civil nuclear capabilities and partnerships. Nearly 20 US nuclear energy companies have visited India this year alone after the fast breeder reactor breakthrough in Kalpakkam nuclear plant. Now the US nuclear industry will submit detailed recommendations to India on the draft SHANTI Act rules, which open the country's nuclear energy sector to private companies and foreign collaborations. Given the global oil crisis amid the West Asia war, nuclear energy presents the safest bet to power India's rise to become the third biggest global economy. The US-India Strategic Partnership Forum, or the USI-SPF, shared on social media. USI-SPF is coordinating a comprehensive industry submission to the Department of Atomic Energy, Government of India, by the September 4th deadline. Ambassador Sergio Gore added, "The United States is charting the future of energy security, and India is one of our consequential partners." USI-SPF also held a virtual meeting with senior leaders from the Indian nuclear industry. In focus was SHANTI Act regulations, key provisions of the framework, private sector entry into nuclear energy, licensing process, nuclear liability rules, project structuring, and industry concerns and feedback to the Indian government. But it's not just America. Germany is eyeing India's green hydrogen fuel manufacturing capabilities. Germany relies on green hydrogen to reach climate neutrality by 2045. German Charge d'Affaires in India, George Enzweiler, stated, "India has the resources to produce green hydrogen which we could buy to cover our energy needs back home and not be dependent on procuring fossil fuels." India commissioned the world's first hydrogen fuel production facility that uses nuclear process heat instead of electricity to split water into clean hydrogen fuel and oxygen. The facility is situated in Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, or IGCAR, in Kalpakkam, Tamil Nadu. Our news report on India-Pakistan tensions was ranking among the top 5 in Google News videos. I am Shobit Mittal. Do subscribe to Inconnect News for the most informative news content. In fact, Germany has pledged over 1 billion euros to green and sustainable projects in India. German Charge d'Affaires has offered to bring German industrial and technological expertise to strengthen and expand India's clean energy production. India has now moved from observer to full partner in the H2 Global, Germany's hydrogen auction mechanism. Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited is now running joint hydrogen derivative auctions with Germany, and similar tie-ups are lined up next with the Netherlands and Japan. In a major hydrogen push, the Indian government has allocated 30,000 tons a year of green hydrogen capacity across Indian Oil, BPCL, HPCL, and Numaligarh. In simple terms, private companies will build the plants and supply these refineries with hydrogen, which is made using renewable energy, replacing the fossil fuel-based hydrogen they currently use. So this is not just about producing green hydrogen, it puts clean hydrogen directly into existing industrial operations. This isn't a future promise, it's hydrogen going into real factories right now. India's atomic agency, the BARC, is building a small reactor specially designed for making hydrogen fuel. And here's why that matters. To manufacture green hydrogen, you either use electricity or still need solar or wind power, but the sun eventually sets and the wind eventually stops. A nuclear reactor does not. It runs 24 hours a day, every day, throughout the year. Pair a nuclear reactor with hydrogen production and you get steady, round-the-clock clean hydrogen fuel with no storage headaches and no gaps. And this clean hydrogen fuel will soon power some of India's biggest projects. Just in July 2026, India actually launched its first hydrogen-powered train in Haryana. So why is everyone, Germany, Japan, the Netherlands, United Kingdom and the United States suddenly rushing to partner India? All these countries need massive amounts of clean hydrogen to meet their own climate goals, but producing it affordably at home is difficult for them. But the fast breeder reactor breakthrough by Indian scientists suddenly makes it possible and viable. Now India is opening its nuclear program to billions of dollars in partnerships. India is poised to become a major global supplier of clean hydrogen fuel. Netherlands and India signed a 5-year strategic partnership roadmap 2026-2030 in The Hague in May, including plans for a green hydrogen corridor linking Indian production directly to European markets. Japan is also joining the H2 Global Auction Framework alongside Germany and the Netherlands. The UK-India hydrogen relationship isn't new. A standards partnership workshop on hydrogen safety ran back in February 2025, and as recently as 2026, India and the UK held a joint conference specially on hydrogen safety regulations, thus moving this relationship from paperwork MOUs towards technical standards. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has laid out a roadmap for self-reliant and globally competitive nuclear energy ecosystem. The headline numbers being 100 gigawatts of nuclear capacity as soon as 2047, up from 8.9% currently, which means a 10-fold jump. This plan has two parts. Part 1, build big 700 megawatts or more reactors on fresh new sites. Part 2 is to fit small modular reactors or SMRs to power industries. This means older coal plants, factories and remote areas will host small modular reactors using existing grids and cooling infrastructure to replace coal power with cleaner nuclear power. But why this bet on small modular reactors? Now, SMRs are mini nuclear power plants. They are smaller, easier to deploy, and able to bring steady electricity. The Nuclear Energy Mission, announced in 2025-26 budget with 20,000 crore behind it, has one aggressive target: at least 5 indigenous small modular reactors operational by 2033. Now the BARC is building 2 of its own designs, a 220 megawatt BSMR 200 and the 55 megawatt SMR 55, with Tarapur in Maharashtra already cleared as the site. Tarapur's dormant nuclear units are also being brought back online after years. There's even a smaller reactor in the pipeline explicitly built to generate hydrogen fuel, a high-temperature gas-cooled reactor of up to 5 megawatts only, designed to be coupled with a thermochemical cycle to produce hydrogen, nuclear power and green hydrogen fuel. India now projects peak electricity demand to reach 300 gigawatts as soon as next year. India already produces 18 to 20 times more power than its failed neighbor Pakistan, which got independence at the same time. Mega corporations Vedanta, Adani, Tata Power and Reliance Industries are all now actively positioning themselves for India's nuclear future. But what do you believe? Will nuclear energy power India's rise to become the world's third biggest economy? Leave a comment, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.